guys, welcome to another super exciting episode of Unusual Eunice, and my name still remains Eunice Mambo. Okay, let's cut to the chase to this story. If you want to grab your popcorn, you want to grab your wine, you want to grab your pop, whatever works for you, just join me as we go with this very amazing story. Chief Ben, a 55-year-old man from Anambra State. Chief Ben is a very wealthy and successful businessman. And as a matter of fact, the village where Chief Ben is from in Anambra State, aside from the king, he's the next in command. He's well regarded, he's well respected, everybody loves him. And plus he's contributed a lot to the village where he's from. And on the other hand, there goes Onyinye. Onyinye is a 21-year-old undergraduate. Onyinye is so beautiful, well-mannered. You know, she minds her business. She's respectful. Everybody loves Onyinye. And plus, she's got brains to go with the beauty. From like 8 years old, she's been on scholarship, which has actually been also a relief for her mom because she lost her father at the age of 5 or 6. So, you know, Onyinye's been like that. This, you know, she's been goal-oriented. Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. I want to change my family. I want to change my mother's life. I want to make her happy. She's always been goal-oriented. Chief Ben has always been in love with Onyinye ever since Onyinye was, 15 or 16. He's been asking her out, buying her all sorts of gifts, expensive gifts. And Onyinye would always tell him, no sir, I do not want your gift, thank you, I'm okay, I don't want it. Oh, I love you. Oh, I want to marry you. Oh, I'm going to give you my life, whatever you want. Onyinye, every time she keeps saying, no sir, I'm fine, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Chief tried everything in the book possible to make sure Onyinye dates him, but all to no avail. He's still there, never giving up, planning, you know, one way or the other trying to devise a means. Because indeed, I don't know if he was in love or he was totally lost with Onyinye. Either of the two, he was going crazy about Onyinye. On this very sad day, there were a few students in the bus, and the bus was designed with green leaf. And we already know, I mean, if you find a green leaf on a bus, you practically, if you're Nigerian, you practically know that that bus is conveying a dead body back home. Everyone was wondering, who's this? Who's dead? Who's dead? Who's dead? It so happened that Onyinye's dead body was brought home. What happened? She complained of a headache earlier on in the day, which they all didn't take seriously, and she said she wanted to rest. And her roommate said she was going for lecture, she'll be back, only for her roommate to get back and met Onyinye laying down, you know, cold blood. She's gone. What? Just like that, the mother cried. Everyone in the village, they cried. Not Onyinye. No, Onyinye is the best girl ever. How could death be so callous? Why Onyinye of all people? She was a good one. We were all hoping that when she finishes from school, she's going to come back and do us proud. Everyone that heard about Onyinye's death mourned her sincerely, because she was an epitome of everything right in the village. And then Chief Ben, he heard about Onyinye's death. He could not take it. He cried like a baby. He cried. No way. My Onyi, no way. No way. Is there nothing we can do? Can money bring her back? What can we do? I'm sorry, Chief. Onyi is gone. Now, this village they have a particular tradition. To start with, they do lying in state, which is them paying the last respect to the dead, whereby they lie the dead body in a room. Everybody comes in to pay their last respect before she's being lowered down in the grave. And then again, they have a rule. So if you're a chief in that village, once a chief comes in to pay his last respect, everybody in the room gotta leave. So chief came with a very heavy heart. With a very heavy heart. He was still crying. He could not stop crying. And then when he walked into the room where Onyinye's body was lying, everybody stepped out, thereby leaving only Chief in the room. Chief looked at Onyinye for a while. It looks as though she was sleeping. She didn't even look like she was dead. She was peacefully laying down there. Chief didn't believe she was gone. Chief kept calling her, Onyinye, I'm here. Onyinye, I'm here. Just talk to me. Just move your body. Just show me. Maybe you're trapped in your body. Chief tried everything. In all of this, he was crying like a baby. And then suddenly, oh my God. Thoughts, you know what they say about thoughts? Thoughts can be very crazy. Suddenly, the thought found its way into Chief's mind to have sex with Onyinye's dead body. For a second, he thought he was crazy. He was like, and then again he said, well, I would not let them lower her in the grave without having carnal knowledge of her. And as we all know, he's here, nobody's going to come, so therefore what's stopping him anyway? So Chief started to have sex with Onyinye's dead body. I can't believe people can be that crazy. That's why I told you earlier on, the story is about lust. While Chief was having sex with Onyinye's dead body, another chief surfaced. So since he's also a chief, they wouldn't stop him from going in, they let him go in. And this particular chief, Chief Osondu, everybody knows Osondu to be not only troublesome, he's loud-mouthed, he's everything you don't even want to come by or come across or go close to. He's always trouble. Wherever he goes to, he's a carrier of trouble. Osondu came in, and lo and behold, Osondu saw the most surprising thing he's ever seen all his life. And then he screamed, Chief! Chief rushed up to Osondu, covered Osondu's mouth, holding him tight and crying with his pants down. Osondu tried to push him away. He felt disgusted, like, don't even touch me. Chief is there crying. He looked at Osondu for a long time and said, I couldn't help it. I love her. Even in death, I still love her. I can't stand it. He's crying, please, whatever you want. Nobody should ever learn or hear about this. Please, I beg of you, Osondu. Please, I beg of you, Osondu. They both walk out of there. Do not forget, Osondu is trouble. Nobody wants any encounter with Osondu. So Chief already knew he was in for it. On his way home, he was wondering, oh my God, what did I allow? What took over me? Why did I even do that? So well, that day passed by. Every other time when they're in the town's meeting, or they're having one thing or the other that involves all the chiefs coming together, whenever Osondu arrives, do not forget, Osondu is a junior chief whom he's just there because by age and by right he should be there. But he's almost the most unnecessary, not wanted chief amidst of all the chiefs, but he's always there. Now, anytime there's a meeting and Chief Ben wants to say something, Osondu gets up and says, would you shut up? What are you even saying? Are you even wise? You even have brain in your head? Is the brain in your head even functioning? Every chance Osondu gets is to bring down Chief Ben. This kept happening. Then everybody started to wonder, what's between these two people? What's really happening here? There's something happening we don't know about. Osondu dares talk to Chief Ben like this? When did this start? No, this is not right. There's something we don't know. This went on and on and on. Now this had already become like a sickness for Chief Ben. He was neither happy or himself again, because now he knew that he just messed up right in front of the wrongest person ever. On this particular day, Chief went to see his friend. He has a very good friend who's a blind man. He's there with his friend, talking, and then his friend said to him, "Come on, Ben. There is something not right about you. I feel heaviness in the whole of this room. And it's not from no other person but you. Please tell me, what's burdening you? What's bothering you? You have a burden. What's burdening you?" Initially he said, "Well, nothing that I can't handle, you know me, nothing that I can't handle." And then later on, he told his friend, "Okay, well, you're my best friend. I should let you know this. This happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and the son saw me, and now I'm in trouble." His blind friend was shocked. "How could you? She was dead and gone. Why?" And then on the other hand, he remembered vividly how his friend kept telling him about Yi. And he was always saying to him, "Oh, Yi is a little girl. She's a shining star in this village. Let her be. You already have 2 wives." But Chief was just struck by everything that Oyin stood for. Okay, finally the friend said to him, "This is what you're going to do. Next time when you're going for the town's meeting, make sure you say something about, about fortifying yourself, about trying to acquire metaphysical powers beyond the ordinary. Tell them something like that, and that's when you tell them that you actually did this to become that strong and fortified." And he looked at his friend. His friend said, "Just go, do that." And he said, "Okay." The next town meeting, they were all there. Osondu wasn't there yet. So they were talking, and suddenly someone talked about, "Oh, these days I think all these young men now, they're just going back and forth, fortifying themselves, so when they get shot, the gun won't pierce through them." But something like that came up. Chief saw it as an opportunity. While some were saying, "Oh, it never works," some were saying, "Oh, it works," Chief said, "Well, it depends on where you go and how much you have to fortify yourself. I have done that before to fortify myself. I've actually slept in the coffin to fortify myself. I've actually slept with a lot of dead bodies to fortify myself." Everybody was shocked. Like, "What? You slept in the coffin? You had sex with a dead body?" The whole room went quiet for a while. Then after like a minute or so, they started singing his praises. "Oh my God, Chief, you're the strongest man we know in this generation. Look at all you did to fortify. Oh wow, Chief, as a matter of fact, you are a god." He didn't believe it. In his mind, he was waiting for a tongue lashing and what have you. No. Rather, they looked at him with utter admiration. Utter admiration. While they were still, talking about this, and everybody going like, wow, Chief, Osondu arrives. And then he sits down. Osondu, with his own air of negativity, he sits down, he spots Chief with a smile on Chief's face. He spots the people looking at Chief with all admiration. This pissed him off. And then he's wondering what's happening here. Okay, so they were about to start the meeting, and someone said, "Oh, Chief, open the meeting with a prayer." Osondu gets up to say, "No! Why would you even ask this disgusting human being to open his mouth and pray to God? What do you think God is?" He starts going on and on. And they go like, "What's the problem, Osondu? Let him pray. I mean, that's Chief Ben. So I don't care if it's Chief Ben or no. Do you want me to tell you what this asshole did? You want me to tell you what this nuisance did? And they were all shocked, like, no, this has got to stop. Now, this is getting too much. Okay, so yeah, what did he do? The other day, when I went to Oyinye's lying in state, you won't believe I met Chief Ben having sex with Oyinye's dead body. He was waiting for, you know, a reaction. He was waiting, looked at everybody. Nobody was shocked. Rather, somebody in the crowd said, so, Chief already told us, it's for fortification. You know how many things Chief has done? You better be careful. You don't even know the magnitude of who you're talking to or who you're talking about. Please sit down and shut your mouth. And everybody started to apologize to Chief, like, you know, just ignore him. He's like that, blah, blah, blah. He was embarrassed. Osondu was embarrassed from the crown of his hair to the sole of his feet. It was like, shame. Shame. And he walked away. And for once, after a while, Chief was able to breathe. Now my point is, I'm not justifying Chief. Whatever Chief did, sleeping with a dead body, is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. But then again, hey, we all make mistakes. We all make wrong choices. Should we be crucified or killed for making wrong choices? No. If you were Chief, what would you have done? I mean, sometimes I tell people, never say never. You never know where you might find yourself tomorrow, or what kind of, you know, spirit will just possess you at a point. Let me know what your thoughts are. Whether it's your thoughts as to Osondu or your thoughts as to Chief, let me know what your thoughts are. And thank you for joining us on today's exciting episode of Unusual Eunice. My name is Eunice Mambo. I love you all and do stay blessed. Bye.
Unusual Eunice. Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual
Unusual Eunice.
Unusual Eunice.